Mr. Apollo Knights, Manager of Customer Service, Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Patricia John, other representative of Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Johanna Kolzak and Delano Brown, Principal of the Canouan Secondary School, Mr. Terry Oliver, students of the myApp Summer Program, staff of the Ncrc, online viewers, good afternoon. I will now welcome Shara Snag, student of the myApp Summer Program, to do a prayer.
Let us pray. Bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we go through the ceremony, help us to remember what we learned this week on our first Ntrc myApp microcoding, and that we may remember and guide us through the ceremony safe. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
We will now stand for the national anthem. Excuse me?
Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. Make peace reign from shore to shore, and compassion keep us true. I am now fair like blessed light, mountains high, so clear and green, a home to me, though I may stray, a heaven comes to me. Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. Make peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true. Since the islands are oceans of lovely melodies, upon their seas and golden sands, our sunshine ever be. Whatever future brings, our faith will see us through. May peace reign from shore to shore, and God bless and keep us true.
Please be seated. I will now welcome the Consumer and Public Relations Manager of the Ncrc, Ms. Rhea Lewis.
Protocol already being established. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ntrc's 2021 myApp closing ceremony for our program here in Canouan. The National Telecom Regulatory Commission, alongside our sponsors, Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Flow, Digicel, Mandarin Hotel, and Spring Garden Resort, welcomes you to our 6th annual myApp Summer Program. This is the first of 2 programs which we will be having this year, and it commenced on Monday, the 16th of August, and today, August 20th, has come to an end. During the course of this week, 20 students ranging from the ages of 13 to 18 years old were taught how to use a pocket-sized computer known as the microbit. The objective of this program seeks to encourage innovation amongst the youths to develop and implement ideas to improve the efficiency of local businesses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It also facilitates a young demographic to pursue application development, and this can contribute to the development of e-commerce within SVG. And also it gives participants a starting knowledge and the ability to build apps that can gather client data, which may be later leveraged to improve long-term relationships. The students who participated in this week's program represented the Canouan Secondary School. We would also like to express our deepest gratitude to the principal of the Canouan Secondary School, Mr. Terry Oliver, who was instrumental in the success of executing this summer program. The program was taught by our very own software engineer, Mr. Siron Cyrus, and he was assisted by our public relations officer, Ms. Eustacia Walter. It should also be noted that this is the 3rd summer program being hosted in the Grenadines. Previously, the summer program has been hosted in Union Island and Beckway, along with various locations on mainland, namely Petit Bodel, Mesopotamia, and Arnesville. The Ntrc hopes that we can continue this summer program for many years to come so that we can teach and develop the youth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you.
I will now welcome Mr. Siron Cyrus, the instructor of the myApp Summer Program, to give his brief remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Siron Cyrus, and I'm a lecturer at this year's program, which had a total of 19 students who attended from the Canouan Secondary School. At the beginning of this program, all of these students have never programmed before. They have never done any form of coding or programming before this. Now, each student is living with the basic understanding of programming and how computers, machines, robots work through the use of a microbit controller. These pocket-sized computers, which are used around the world, are used to introduce children to the wonderful world of programming with its simple to use block coding design. I must admit, it was quite challenging to teach students who have never programmed before, but I think they grasped the concept well and they understood the task at hand, and they're leaving here with some knowledge that they can use in the future. These skills can be used in a wide array of jobs, and I hope that they put these skills to use in the future, because the way the world is going, it's a digital age, and there will be need for more programmers. Everything is going digital, from your fridge to your car, everything. So there will be a need for programmers. I would like to wish every student that participated a good luck in their future endeavors, and hope that they take what they learn here and apply it in some way, shape, or form in the future. I see a lot of potential in this class, and I wish them all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cyrus. I will now welcome the principal of the Canouan Secondary School, Mr. Terry Oliver.
Good afternoon to everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Canouan Secondary School, and hope that when you finish, you could view the compound. I would like to thank the Ncrc for putting on this program in Canouan this summer, and especially the instructors. Thank you all very much. When I know that it would have been a hard task, sometimes dealing with young people, but I hope that they can see and understand and they appreciate what was done for them over the week. I hope that they would have learned a lot and that they would use what they have learned to elevate themselves, not only themselves, but also their colleagues, and that they would put it into practice, as was said before, that they would practice to learn to build their own apps, of course, and that even we could have some one or two or many of them starting their own business, put exactly what you learn into practice, and that is the only way that this would be successful. So I want to thank all those persons who made this possible, and wish you all the best that when you continue throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that the program would really be successful. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Oliver. I will now welcome Ms. Patricia John, Manager of Customer Service, Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to give some brief remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, thank you so much for having us here, for inviting us to this occasion. We at Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are delighted to partner with Ntrc in order to sponsor this myApp summer program for 2021. This is something that we are very invested in exposing the youths to the digital platforms and the applications and so on. And I hope that you all would have benefited from the program and that the objectives would have been achieved. Well, we know that the future of banking and the world in general is digital, right? And but the transformation really begins now. And so this is something that we're very passionate about at Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as we seek to increase our own digital footprint by launching a series of digital products under our iBank brand. We've even brought some of the goodies here today. The products have not yet been launched, but we've brought some of the things down to give to you all. We are currently updating our online platform, and that helps you to do I'm sorry, this is really affecting me. I don't know if it's okay for me to take it off. Right? We are currently updating our online banking platform, and that allows you to do banking anywhere, anytime. You could use it to, check a balance. You can send a wire transfer. You can even transfer funds to your friends via text message. And also with the introduction of the digital cash applications like Dcash that was recently launched, this is pushing us closer to becoming a less cash-intensive society. And make no mistake, we are moving there in leaps and bounds. At Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are looking forward to partner in similar initiatives going forward and employ you as young people to take advantage of these ideal and valuable opportunities to develop yourself for the future. I was thinking back in my day when I was your age, and we won't get into when that was. Codings was part of maybe a math syllabus and applications were for jobs. But there was no way to know back then that even our vocabulary would have to be completely changed to accommodate this technological revolution. But it is at our doorstep, and commendably, Ntrc, along with funded institutions like Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, have embraced the challenge and we are committed to investing in you as young people. All right, to have knowledge of coding and application design today as young persons is really golden because it opens a new horizon for you. More and more you see the development of new applications within the OECS, and most of these are digital ones. And if you take a closer look at the drivers, you'll see it was somebody who had an idea and they would partner with persons like you who know how to do coding. And that gives birth to these new applications. So this myApp program gives you the much needed foundation for your future and puts you in a position to lead your country through this digital transformation. So, as I said, the future is digital. And we at Bank of St. Vincent, we continue to be invested in you as young people and in our community. Ncrc stated their aim is to create applications of high standard and quality. And this program goes a long way even to foster your ability to, to start businesses. We encourage you to put what you have learned into use and build on it. And I'm sure that even the sky will not be a limit for you. So congratulations to the participants for completing your program successfully. And in the words of Van Gogh, he said, great things are achieved by a series of small things brought together. So keep moving forward and we will achieve great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. John. I will now welcome the valedictorian of the Ncrc's 2021 myApp Summer Program, Michaela Johnson, to give her speech.
Good afternoon to everybody. When schools finally closed, I was so happy to finally relax and be able to sleep as long as I wanted to. I was later told that I had to go to a coding program. I never really liked information technology or anything close to it, so that crushed me. The first day I came up with as many excuses as possible to try and convince my mother I didn't need to attend this program. However, she told me you can never have too many skills and I should give my best in whatever I do. So I used that as my motivation and attended the program. Though I still wasn't fond of waking up early, I started looking forward to going each morning as my thoughts would be filled with how fun and exciting the last class was. I learned how to code using a microbits and how robots work, which helped to make the program enjoyable. I would like to thank the Ncrc for the opportunity to attend this program, and I pray and hope that others would get the same experience I did. I thank you.
Thank you, Michaela. I will now welcome the director of the Ncrc, Mr. Apollonize, to give his address.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. And see how many of you also enjoyed the program this week. It's a show of hands. That's pretty good. I think we have a passing grade segment. So. Right, so I have been chosen to be the feature person to give the address. I don't know if you want to listen for a whole hour or 10 minutes, which one you prefer, hour or 10? 10, lovely. So, I don't like to speak and I don't like to speak for long. So I just want to say a few words and a few items I think maybe hopefully they help you in life as well as school. Because you really start life when you finish school. School is the easy part. Right? So don't think school is hard and the exams are hard. Life is the hard part. So just preparing you for that. Right. The first thing I want to touch on is the impact of software on the world today, and especially in the pandemic we have currently. If it wasn't for software, we won't be able to have persons online being part of this closing ceremony. That's one example. So it allows us to still be working. Some of our staff at the Ncrc, they work from home during the pandemic due to social distancing and so forth. So all that's due to software. So without software, even though it's bad in the pandemic, it'll be worse. So we have to appreciate the effects of software in our lives. And I'll go a little into that as we go along. I also want to touch a little on the purpose. I mean, Ria, Eustacia, Sarah touched a little on the myApp program, what's it about. I mean, and they are correct. But just a more higher level, the reason we started it is to want to inspire persons like you when you come to this program in different ways. Some might become coders, software developers as you go forward, but also some would have appreciate the use of software and how it applies to other stuff we do in our jobs. Right? So that's a very important part. And it's also a stepping stone for our iCode program competition, which we have starting next month in September. That's where students, just like you, in secondary school, where we have two categories, the idea one and the app part. And as Ms. John is from Bank of St. Vincent mentioned, all big things start with the idea. So we have an ideas category. So once you have an idea for something, you can team up with somebody to do the coding and get into the app category. And if you just have the idea alone, you can enter the idea category. So you have an idea for something for app, you just do a PowerPoint in it and you can enter. So I'm looking forward to at least one team from the secondary school in Canouan entering this year. I don't think we have had any, correct, so far? We haven't had any competitions so far. So I'll be greatly appreciative if I just see at least one, but I should have more than one. You can't enter alone, you have to have teams. So minimum of 2 persons in it. So I'm looking forward to see that happen. Right, so we have the myApp, which is summer part of it. And normally it's like 4 weeks. This year, due to other reasons, we had it for 1 week, but hopefully back from next year, back to maybe our 4-week schedule. And so this leads up to the iCode competition, which comes on. And it all is in our bigger mandate of the Ncrc for connectivity. That's what we do. We're here to make sure persons are connected in St. Vincent. Right? And connected in, it does not means just getting the internet and a broadband connection. So that's part of it. And years ago, people saw that as the end all of it. So we get that internet connection, we're good, which most of you have maybe at home, at school, on your phone somewhat. What we want to connect, we are also very interested in what they're connecting to. So we want to build the highway, which is the broadband stuff, get it connected, but we're very interested in where the highway leads to. We don't want to just lead into America, that you can get connections to sites in America, buying goods and services from America, right? We also want to see it be connected to goods and services in St. Vincent. So as Mr. Howes mentioned, the bank just recently part of the cash. And that's a new app that allows us to transfer money in St. Vincent and across the Eastern Caribbean. So that's a homemade app for the region. That's what we're looking for. Because there are many apps like that. They can use them in the US, but some you can't use it. Like PayPal, you might have heard of. You can use PayPal to buy things in America. Even from here, you can use PayPal to order stuff. But I can't use PayPal to get money in St. Vincent. So we're still limited. But with the cash and stuff like that, it's for our own use, and those are the kind of things we want to do and connect it to. Right? So as we continue to build our Caribbean civilization in a unique way, we need to have persons like you work in building apps, get ideas to build the kind of goods and services that people can use and make us more productive as a country and a Caribbean region. Right? So we at the Ncrc playing our little part in that, and we can't do it alone. We have to do it with Mr. Olivier and the principal, you, the students, Bank of St. Vincent, Flow, Digital, Mandarin Hotel, each one bring, we don't have all the money to do it and we don't have all the people to do it. Right? So we have to work together, and that's how we do things in the world these days. We have to work and collaborate and get things done. So you find in the past a lot of persons in the Caribbean like to work alone, do things alone. They don't like partnerships, but you have to do things in partnerships these days to get along and to get ahead. I want to touch a little on the passions. Like I said, the Valedictorian lady, she was afraid to come to the program because she never liked IT and these things, but now you see she started and she's a top student. So sometimes you don't like certain things, they might have an idea what they are before you actually do it. But after you actually do it, we find you like it. Right? So sometimes we don't know what our passions are in life and to actually try certain things. So you must be afraid to try certain things. Not everything is a passion, but try them. After a while, you'll see where your passions are. So whenever opportunity come, give it a try, right? So we don't expect every one of you to be software developers, but hopefully some of you will be. But our main goal is for most of you to understand software, how it applies to different things, how it can be used to different things. So I'm the manager of the Ncrc, but I did coding when I went to school in college. I'm actually an engineer by training, but I don't do engineering work now. But that's where I start, but based on the work I do, I need to have a good understanding of engineering, based on the field we work in. And then when you understand that stuff, you see how certain things connect. Because these days, everything in the world is connected in different ways, affect different things. So the more knowledge you have of different things, even though you're not expert in it, it helps you to make good, wise decisions. And I'll give you a few examples of this, where software has changed industries and more or less erased certain jobs over the years. Maybe before your time, watches. I don't have a watch, but you have a watch right over here. I think you was one to have dials in it, right? Right. Your watch have dials. Right. But most watches now these days is like an app. Right? So you see anyway, 30 years ago, all the watches were like yours. You wind them up and so, then it went to start getting a battery. Now it's like a computer. So the persons who were fixing watches years ago, when I was small, some guy with a little thing where I said I could need a thing. He won't have a job soon. So software is more or less taking away his job. So you have to understand the software, how to apply it. He might think the software will never touch his job, but it will. Telephones, in my day, when I was small, the telephone was something to spin, and dial thing. No software in it. Cameras the same way. Cameras were, you take them and either take the film to develop, or you have the Polaroid one comes at one time, and no software in it. These days, the cameras are on the phone. Most of them is all software yet. Telephones are software in the phone. So all of them is software involved, changing the whole area. So a lot of companies go out of business because of that. A lot of companies, they recognize the software impact and out of business. Right? So even some jobs that you might start school with looking at and say, I want to be this, I want to do that down the road. You have to be careful that when you finish school, those jobs may not be around. So that's why if you understand software and this work we do, you have a little vision to see, yeah, this is something I think may not be existing in 5 years. Right now, you go to the US, you go on some trains in the US. There's no drivers on the train, no conductors, fully automated software. So I sure it won't be too long to just know it was a bus running down in front of a taxi man, with nobody driving it. So then they see there have no jobs for taxi man, and no jobs for bus drivers, if you catch what I'm saying there. So there will be new jobs created due to software. There's some that will stay still, but the others that will disappear. So we need to be very mindful of software and how it affects these things. Right, and the last point, I don't know how much minutes I did so far, maybe 7. But then I don't think I'm close to an hour yet. Right. The last time I was in Canouan, I can't remember how many years ago it was, but we had a consultation over in the only school at the time, I guess. Still the whole part of the school, which was there. But I believe it was before we were working on the fiber cable, because the grannies always had an issue of communication, right? And especially when the internet came about, everybody have internet now, and the mainland have more speed. Persons in the grannies will complain. The internet is slow. So when we hear that time back, they complain. The internet is very slow in Canouan, as well as they're charging more for it. So I think back then they say 3 megs is the biggest speed you can get. It's very slow. But at that point in time, we were working on a new project to make it faster, but these things take time. But now I'm here today. The fiber cable is here since 2019. So we were able to take that project and develop it for the whole Grenadines, and it was done in collaboration again, not just the government of St. Vincent alone. It was done through the World Bank and the government of Grenada and the government of St. Vincent, 3 entities together. And the World Bank, they among the smallest portions. About $20 million to put it in. The need was always there, so the need was always there. We need it. So the companies, Flow, Digicel, they make good business decisions for them. There's too much money to spend for a small amount of people. Even though everybody had internet in the home, you won't be able to pay back for it. So that's where the government comes in based on wanting to make sure And then the Anthem shows with one country, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that we need to be treated samely, have the same access to some services. So as part of that policy, both governments agreed to put in a fiber cable. So it's there, connected here since 2019. I'm not sure if it's start offering services to the persons as yet. I'm hearing so, that some homes are getting service over it. There's still some little negotiations going on at the legal level to get the costings right in it. But I'm sure very soon, most of you will see the benefits of it, if you're not already seeing it already, even not officially launched, right? So I just want to touch on fiber stuff just to let you know it takes time sometimes to get things done, but once you're persistent with it, you'll get it done. And you have to work together. And the next phase you're going into now is, again, what Mr. John mentioned, transformation stuff. There's a new project that started, which is now to build on the fiber connectivity. So once you have good speed now connections, we want to give you better services, right? So there's a new digital transformation project, which is being led by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the OECS, and the member governments of St. Kitts, Grenada, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, three of them, and the Dominica, right? So you'll start seeing new services roll out from the governments of these countries. So they'll impact you directly, whereby, for example, you want to get a driver's license, you won't need to leave here, people get stuff to do that. You do from right here. You have the internet stuff and the applications are there. Our applications developed for our context. We get those stuff done. So I think that is the areas I want to touch on. And before I close, I just want to say thank you for the 19 of you who made it to the end. Thank you to the Valedictorian. Thank you to Raphael for being to the end as well. I want to thank my team for the hard work that they put in, head by Ria. It takes a lot of time to plan this, to get together. I thank our partners over here, the principal, Bank of St. Vincent especially. Bank of St. Vincent has always been with us for our Grenadines events, and they put a very good contribution towards it. So I just want to thank you again for being with us, and hopefully in the future we will continue to work together. And all other persons I show will be thanked more specifically in the vote of thanks. So I don't want to go into much detail. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. At this time, we'll have the presentation of the Valedictorian trophy and the gift. I will welcome Mr. Knight to hand over the trophy and the gift to Michaela Johnson.
So the trophy for us. All right. So just come over here to the camera maybe. Perfect. As well as this year, we upgraded the gift a little bit. So you see one now. We have an extra gift that is not normally presented, but again, showing our importance in the program. We have a little extra thing in the box there. So it's a surprise her. When mommy said to come, if she didn't follow my advice, then somebody else will be here and put it in the box there. So. It looks like a tablet, I believe, or a big tablet. So she's getting a brand new laptop. Alright, so you have a nice brand new laptop. Wish you all the best and continue coding.
Thank you. At this time, we will have the distribution of the certificates to the students of the myApp summer program. This will also be done by Mr. Apollo Knight. Our first student, Andrew Batiste. Leonardo Bolcha. Blucher. DeAndre Blucher. Ziquan Duro. Rafael Garaway.
Raphael.
Kimonique Harry. Henry Harry. Michaela Johnson. Devontae Joseph. Francis Mitchell. Omar Oliver. Jovel Pear. Shara Snag. Ryan Solane, Shakura Williams, Thank you. So I am the Public Relations Officer of the NTRC, Miss Eustacia Walter. Firstly, I would like to thank the Ministry of Education and the principal of the Canouan Secondary School, Mr. Terry Oliver, for allowing us to host the program during this pandemic. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Flow, Digicel, Mandarin Oriental, Canouan. I would also like to thank the parents for the students for allowing them to come out and learn something new, which they can add to their future endeavors. I would also like to thank the staff of the NTRC for their hard work that has been put into this program, along with our caterer for providing lunch for the students each day. Thank you, each and every one of you, and have an enjoyable afternoon.